Hi, we're Edu-TASTIC from NC State. 3 out of our group of 4 are educators, and student achievement is an issue near and dear to our hearts. Let's jump in and talk about the digital divide. Not all students in our state have access to high-speed broadband internet, and we're all here today because we're aware that this has an impact on education outcomes. We also know that it's not actually that simple. The reason for the divide vary by location, and additional factors contribute to our students' success or stand in their way. Just providing infrastructure is not enough to ensure broadband access to our students. And just providing that access is not enough to ensure that they'll be able to pursue a post-secondary education. To better understand the influences at work, we combined several data sources and created an elastic net model to predict whether students would enroll in a post-secondary education program within 12 months of graduating high school. And don't get us wrong, broadband is important, but it is one among many factors that strongly correlate to a student's post-secondary enrollment. This bird's eye view gives us an idea of the important measures to look at in general, but that doesn't give us much closer to an actionable way to help students achieve success. So we built a tool to help us zoom in and discover insights that we otherwise might have missed.
Our dashboard uses our Shiny to allow the user to explore the relationships between variables connected to internet access and post-secondary outcomes. All 100 counties are displayed, sized based on the population of each county, and colored to indicate urban or rural status. Analysis can be restricted to only rural counties using the action button. Many of the relationships are expected, such as with Camden County. Camden County is this county here. You note that when I hover over a county, it displays the current values that are graphed, along with identifying information. When I click on that county, it highlights it and now allows me to explore that county in different viewpoints. So with Camden County, we see that there is low percentage that have no internet access and very high secondary outcomes. What else do we notice? Well, we could change our X variable to median income. Median income is relatively high in Camden County, and we see that the educational outcomes are also high. Again, something we would expect. And how about child poverty rate? So very low child poverty, and again, high post-secondary outcomes. So following the trends, nothing really too unique about this county. What if we started over? So let's look at no internet access and outcomes. Let's focus again just on rural counties and maybe look at one that doesn't follow the trend. So Hartford County is here. And according to this relationships, we're seeing they have relatively high percentage with no internet access and a high percentage enrolling in post-secondary schools. That's interesting. That does not follow the trend. So let's explore what else is going on in Hartford County. So perhaps let's again look at median incomes. So median incomes are relatively low. Outcomes, however, are still high. That does not follow the trend we'd expect. Child poverty rate, relatively high, and yet post-secondary outcomes, relatively high. So this tool is allowing us to identify these outliers and perhaps tell their story. And in that story, you might find patterns that can be replicated in other similar counties. And we did that. We looked at Google and we found that in Hartford County, they have a specific grant that worked to increase educational outcomes focused on teacher retention and empowerment. There are also several scholarships and grants focused on Hartford County promoted on their school websites. This county is perhaps focusing on something that other counties may not be, and perhaps we could apply that to similar counties along with increasing access to the internet.
In summary, our tool allows us to model and find impactful variables, look for outliers to investigate case studies, and for those outliers, what is their story? Our value proposition is, by digging into county trends that defy our expectations, we can shine a light on struggles and successes that remain hidden when we simply look at the big picture. Focusing on a selected county and their innovation allows us to expand our understanding of what contributes to our students' odds of enrolling in post-secondary education. What this brings to our state is that there's always more ways to gather data, and deciding what to gather and executing on surveys can be time-consuming and costly. Investigating county results that go against the grain offers inspiration and directionality for future researches and programs.